Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. In this week's episode of So Many Games, So Little Time, we have Age of Wonders 4. Let's check out the opening video.
A power older than time has returned. Free from their imprisonment, ancient wizard kings come, seeking lost magics and new realms to conquer, turning all whom they encounter by choice or by force. Through strife, champions arise. New unities are founded. And powerful arcane knowledge unlocked. As gods and mortals clash, the forces unleashed will shape a new age of wonders.
All right, so I'm a sucker for these kinds of games, and because of that, despite the fact that I'm still playing Stranded: Alien Dawn. Jack is dead now, by the way. But despite the fact that I'm still really enjoying that game, I could not resist this game. So this is going to be about an hour of gameplay, edited down a little bit, and it'll just be me talking about some of the basic systems that I saw in that first hour. I'm not going to go over every single thing, but yeah, hopefully by the end of it you will have an idea of what this game is all about.
Choose your
So,
destination.
starting a new game, they allow us to choose a realm, and I assume they want us to choose the Fields of Rebirth. We cannot edit this realm, but we can change the
Here,
difficulty,
you have the unique
and then we
ability
can
to
choose
create
our
your
faction. We have humans, we have elves, we have orcs, we have dwarves, we have halflings and cat people and goblins and rat people and frog people and mole people. And so, yeah, you can play as kind of a generic version of one of those fantasy tropes, or you could, if you wanted to, you could make yourself a race of mole people who are very into necromancy, and they ride giant spiders into battle. So there's a lot of customization here. I'm not really going to go into the customization at all in this video. I just want to get right to the gameplay, but I just want to point out how customizable this game is, and all this customization stuff kind of deserves its own video, so I think I will do that. And in this video, I'm just going to choose one of these factions and jump right in. So the human paladins caught my eye. So I'm going to jump in as Mishara the Radiant. I'm not editing the faction. I'm not editing the leader at all. We're just jumping right in. And like I said, I'm not going to go into great detail here. We're just going to take a look at the stuff that I saw basically in that first hour. And then at the end of the video, we'll jump forward a little bit and look at a battle that took place a little bit later. But there you can see my ruler and our starting magic. We have a tutorial that starts right here, as you would expect. There is an encyclopedia that you can look up within the game if you have questions about various mechanics. But here I'm just messing around and moving the camera. Pressing L2 will take you to the underground. This is the only thing about the underground that you're going to see in this video, but just keep in mind that there is an underground. You can switch back and forth with the camera by pressing L2, but you need to find a passageway to actually journey underground. But never mind that. You're not going to see any more of that in this video, but you are going to see some combat. And nearby we have a small monster den. It is regularly spawning enemies. Here we have some enemies that were probably spawned from that den. And you can see the banner there with the number on it, which will give you an idea of its relative strength in comparison to yours.
They provide additional yield.
So yeah, in this game, you're going to be expanding your city, annexing new provinces, and building structures to harvest resources. And then you will use those resources to build new buildings in your city, or perhaps, reinforcements, things like that. You will be recruiting new types of troops and exploring the world and researching different types of magic. All of this is very familiar if you've played a game like this in the past. This is published by Paradox, and they publish a lot of games like this. Selecting an army brings up those menus at the bottom of the screen, and you can hit down on the digital pad to access those menus. We actually start off with 2 armies. I could switch back and forth between them with L1 and R1. If I select my city, it brings up those menus on the left that you can access with left on the digital pad, and you can look at the city information. You can choose a structure to build. You can recruit troops, or you can annex another province. And those plus signs represent the provinces that are fair game at the moment for being annexed. But you know what? Let's kill something. Let's go attack these creatures here. You can tell that I'm having a little trouble targeting this thing, but that's the sort of thing that you get used to after a while. And I feel like this game controls really well, just to give you a generic opinion. But you can see that this is going to be a safe battle for us because we are much more powerful than these creatures here. I could hit R1 to inspect the enemies there on the right. Looks like a couple of snake looking things, or maybe basilisks or something like that. I don't know. I am a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, but it's been a long time since I played.
Here, you must kill or rout
But
your
this is
foes
my very first
in order
battle,
to claim victory.
and as you might expect, I'm going to be very awkwardly moving my people around, and I will be agonizing over the placement of my
It has 3
various
action
troops.
points to spend on moving
So
and
don't
using
worry,
items.
I'm not going to make you watch this entire battle. In a moment here, we're going to skip ahead and we're just going to watch the replay of the battle, so it'll be more exciting to watch. But this functions pretty much as you would expect if you've played a game like this. Each unit has a certain number of action points, and if you move but you still have action points, then you could move and then go into a defensive posture or cast a
When
spell,
entering
things
defense
like
mode,
that.
It grants a bonus to adjacent allies,
We have different
protecting them
unit
against
types,
physical attacks.
shield units and ranged units and support units. So all this is pretty standard. That green exclamation point means that there will be some sort of a status effect if you move your troops there. And in this case, they would be obscured or partially obscured by hiding in those bushes. But you can see how I'm having a really tough time deciding where to put these guys. But I move them, and then I press down on the digital pad to access that menu, and then we're going to put them into a shield wall. So that will raise their defense. And then if I put any other troops next to them, then those troops would also benefit from that defense. It's all very standard. Here is our ruler, Mishara. Here are the support units. They are spellcasters. They can heal people. They can also cast some offensive spells. So let's move them over here. And when they arrive, you will see that they get the benefit of the shield wall. And then if I hit down on the digital pad, they have a defensive mode called warding, which will also raise defense for everybody in the area. But never mind that. We are skipping ahead This is a replay of that very same battle. And I always enjoy watching these replays. I think in terms of gameplay, I prefer real-time strategy over turn-based strategy. But I do like watching these replays at the end of a battle. And a lot of battles, you don't necessarily have to actually fight yourself, because as you saw on that one screen when we were entering the battle, you get a visual representation of, you know, whether the battle is going to be evenly matched or whether one side could dominate. So, yeah, you don't necessarily have to fight every single battle. You can just auto-resolve, and then if you want to watch the replay, you can still watch the replay when you auto-resolve the battle. But you can see everybody's putting in some work here. Our leader already got injured, but now our spellcasters are healing them. The creatures are becoming more desperate. Looks like they're attacking our healers and our shield guys here. But everybody's staying alive, and our healers are keeping people basically healed as we go through this. And we have one creature dead. And now I think, I think our leader is actually going to end this battle. We get a little slow motion death blow here. I wish there were more cinematic moments like that in these battles. But never mind that. We got a victory. We get notifications in the lower right-hand corner. And one of them tells us that our ruler has leveled up. So we have a skill point to spend. We started off the game with one skill. I believe Vigor is the skill that Mashara starts with. And then I have 1 point that I chose to spend on fighting. These skills up here are unlocked as you reach a particular level. But then we have these down here to choose from, and then there are actually more to choose from down below this on the list, but I didn't even look. I chose fighting, which will give my hero some extra melee damage. But then I realized, oh, hey, look, there's more stuff down here maybe I could have chosen. And then I realized that I could reset my points. And so I decided to do that. And instead of vigor and fighting, I ended up with fighting and experienced leader. Experienced leader will give our army, any non-hero units will get extra XP every turn, so they'll level up faster, which seems nice. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to go with fighting to get a little extra melee damage for my hero. Vigor gave my hero a little extra health, so some extra hit points. But I don't think I need that. Maybe I'll maybe I'll regret it. But I'm going to go with experienced leader and fighting for now. But you can see there's a list of traits to unlock. It's just another aspect of the customization in this game, and the ability to build your empire and build your leader the way you want to. Pressing left on the digital pad takes you to your quest menu, where you can see your active quests and your completed quests and victory conditions. You can track objectives, your arcane research, and your empire progression is also there in the upper left-hand corner, but we will get to those a little bit later. But first I'm going to merge these two armies. They automatically merge because you can have up to 6 troop types in an army. I had an army with 5 types of troops and an army with 1 type, so when I moved them together they automatically merged. And so now let's go kill something over here. Let's go take out this infestation. Unfortunately we will not reach it this turn, but down there in the lower right-hand corner, it says we can press R2 to set our arcane research.
Arcane research enables you to
So
learn
that
new
takes us to
spells
that
and
menu in the
acquire
upper left.
units.
And we have
The
3
culture
types
and
of
tone you've
magic
chosen for
to
your faction
research.
determine the
And
initial
then
skills you
when,
can unlock through arcane research.
When that's done, we will get 3 new choices. So very much like Stellaris in that regard. But you can see that even at the beginning of the game, you have a lot of different types of structures to choose from. And of course, each one of these will do different things for you. The game recommends that you build either a workshop or a storehouse
Cities
at the
also
beginning.
recruit your
I think I
units.
went with
Units cost
the
upkeep
workshop.
every turn. So keep
But
an eye on
over
your
time,
income to ensure
you will
can
build
pay for
more
your
and more of
units.
these as your city expands. I assume the Light Forge will lead us to better weaponry and armor and things like that, but I don't really know, so I'm just kind of talking. We have a quest to recruit a scout, so we can go into the recruit menu, and the scouts for my faction are called Light Seekers. So it'll take a few turns to actually recruit this scout, so you're not actually going to see that happen in this video.
This city
But
has
we already
gradually
have a
gained
scout.
new
So you're going to see a
population.
scout in
Each
the
additional
next
population
battle,
enables you
actually.
to
But
expand
first,
the
they
city's
want us to
domain
expand
by
our
placing
city
a
by
province improvement.
annexing another province. And the game actually wants me to annex
Every
the
province
province
has
over
different
there where I've
features,
been fighting those
which
creatures,
determine what
but
type
I'm
of
not
improvement can be built in it.
I'm not following what the tutorial wants me to do, I guess. And I'm going to choose this province over here, and then we will have a choice of a structure to build. Not every province will give you a choice, but this one gives us the choice of a farm or a quarry. I'm not even sure I realized I had the choice of a quarry at this point. I think I may have just saw the farm. I may have just seen the farm and pressed X right there, just full disclosure. But never mind that. We have a farm. That's good. How can that be a bad thing? You can see if we zoom out, we get kind of a sort of a tapestry looking view of the map. It's actually kind of plain looking, but an interesting idea. But never mind that. Let's go ahead and kill something else. That's entertaining, right? Once again, we have a safe battle here, but this one is an infestation site. So like I said earlier, this site would keep spawning enemies until we take it out. We can get a look at the different types of enemies that we will face, but once again, we're just going to skip to the replay here. So I have basically the same army I had in that first battle, except now we have a scout unit because we merged those two armies together. So you'll see the scout unit go flank toward the top of the screen. Scouts are on horseback, so they can move quickly. They have bows and arrows. But everybody else is the same as they were in that other battle. It looks like I never did heal them, actually, but I guess my casters are taking care of that in mid-battle, so that's good. But I'm going to shut up and let this play. So if you want to skip to the end of this battle, skip to 21 minutes and 30 seconds right now. Okay, so we're going to get a victory, and we're going to get a nice slow motion, long distance spell cast here. Well, not exactly long distance, but from a distance. We get a nice victory. I wish the battles were a little bit more cinematic. I think I mentioned that earlier. But never mind that. We got a reward. We got, what is that, some food, some leaves? I don't know what's going on there, but we also got a magic robe. Unfortunately, in true old gamer guy fashion, I didn't realize that I actually had it for a little while. I didn't think to put it on. So you're not actually going to see me put on that robe in this video. But it is in my inventory. I could put it on. But yeah, at this point, I'm just going to start exploring the world. We've got some more enemies down there. We've got a gold stash up here. We've got a mysterious tower in the mist. As we begin to explore and we start to clear away some of that mist. When you've given all your orders, you can hold R2 to end your turn, and your opponents will get their turn, and then the next day begins. The nice tutorial lady is explaining Imperium to us now, and that's basically your influence like you have in Stellaris and other games of this type. You can use influence as a currency to do various things as you progress through the game. But right now, I think we should go grab this gold and then go check out that tower. That tower actually will give a radius of view to whichever faction was the last one to go inside. So once we go in there, it will reveal part of the map, and then it will stay revealed unless somebody else goes in there and uses it, I think. I think that's how it works. Unless we go over here and claim this province and build a city over there, which you can do. I think I can have up to 3 cities here at the beginning of the game. But in this video, I'm just expanding our original city. Pressing triangle brings up a radial menu, which will give you access to various other menus. But this is the Empire Progression Skill Tree screen. You can see there are various skill trees that you can access at the bottom of the screen there with L1 and R1. I'm getting XP in this tree, which is the Order Affinity, and that's connected to my faith-based faction. There are also core skills, and yeah, just another way that you can customize your empire over time. And speaking of time, that about did it for my first hour of gameplay, but now we are skipping about 16 turns ahead in the future. And at this point, I have met actually some other factions, and I met some frog people nearby in a free city. You can also see that I have customized my ruler, so he looks a little bit more like me now. For some reason, the game is still calling me Mashara in some of the menus, but not all of them, so that must be a bug. But those frog people, after a while, they sent an invitation for us to take part in the royal hunt. And I had several different options for how to deal with that invitation, but I chose to bring my ruler along with some troops, and we are participating in the royal hunt. But their target for this hunt is the fabled pyre-born dire penguin. So we are fighting penguins here, and also some pigs, which appear to be in alliance with the penguins. So that gives you an idea of some of the crazy types of things that can happen in this game. These penguins, they're called pyre-born, and so if you look closely, you can see that they have flames happening. And I think the pigs look like they have some flames going on also. I guess that could be some sort of an enchantment. But yeah, I just auto-resolved this battle, so I didn't actually control this, but like I said, you can still watch the replay after you auto-resolve, and that's what we're looking at here. But I guess I should go ahead and summarize my first impressions as we close in on the end of the video. If you can't tell, I really like this. It's very, very similar, unsurprisingly, to Age of Wonders Planetfall, if you ever played that. But a lot of these concepts are in several different Paradox games, and so it's all very familiar to me. But hopefully, if you've never played a game like this, this video has given you some idea of what to expect. But we defeated the Pyre-born Dire Penguin, and now we could choose to take the meat, we could choose to take the pelts, we could enlist one of their fighters, enlist one of their hunters rather, or we could do what I did, which is to mount the head of the Dire Penguin somewhere within our empire so that everybody knows that our empire reigns supreme. So that should tell you that there is diplomacy in this game, which you didn't even see in this video. So there's a lot going on here. I like it, but no game is for everyone. But that will do it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, thanks very much for watching.